Now, the first exercise is to sum an array of integers and return the sum of its elements for an empty array. So what I'll do here is set variable a equal to the array.
Yeah.
And then use the reduce method to sum that.
It's going to go like that. So, because I'm new to Ruby, can you explain the reduce method?
So that ranges over. I think it's an enumeration method. So array inherits that from the enumeration class. And you range over all the elements of the array, applying that method, the plus method.
So it's going to automatically, if the array is empty, it's going to return 0. It's going to return, or you have to specify, like I use the inject method is also from enumerable, I think.
Yes. So if there might be, as always, there's usually a better way to do these things, but if, I think this will work. So if not A, then return 0, else return A. So if it was 0, then that would be, or not A would be true, so we would return 0 for that. Else we would return A, which would be the sum of the array.
Right. So run the test.
So that what was the test? R spec. Do you have it somewhere?
Yeah.
Let's see what. Spec. Can you tell me what the R spec was to run this?
Yes, R spec 1, and then part 1, I think.
Part 1, was it? Part 1.
You're gonna type it and press the tab key when the auto complete.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, go ahead. You're done. You can just copy and paste from the from GitHub page where you clone this repository. So it will be just quickly to just grab the test and just run.
Yeah. Okay. Is that the correct?
I cannot see your screen clearly.
You can't see it. I'll just get the.
I don't have any.
The homework instructions.
Do you know how do I open my bash over here? I think. How do I access the bash shell?
Because the bash shell on Cloud9.
Yep.
I think you open a terminal.
From where? I mean, I'm clicking there is plus in the bottom of this web page, and it's showing me just JavaScript consoles, and that's it, not bash.
So if you've got the plus sign there,
Yeah.
Like select a new terminal.
No, there is no option over here. When I click, there is a new immediate window and recently closed tab is a JavaScript console.
I don't know. Without looking at your screen. I mean, it's all a bit new to me too. But anyway, let me just run this then.
Okay.
Too much there. I think I needed to switch into the homework workspace.
Yeah, homework.
So CD to homework will be intro. And then I can just spec. What it's saying, so it says it's that's what you have to do. You have to save this first.
Okay.
So if I do a Control S with the cursor up in the window, that will save it, and then I can run rspec, and you can see that.
Has passed.
Yeah, so it's passed. 3 examples, 0 failures. All right, did you want to try the next one?
All right.
So what I'll do is I'll share it with you. What have you got? Have you got read-write access?
No, you haven't granted. Yeah, that was the problem.
So you should have read-write access now.
No. Still, I cannot find the terminal over here. It's very weird because whenever I click on other cloud, it just pops up when I click the plus button and it shows on there is a bash for opening the bash terminal. It's pretty weird. Let me look up. Installer. I'll be writing the test, writing the next program, and you're gonna test this there.
Okay, I think it's working now. You can see you.
So, still, I cannot type anything over there. Read and I'm still in a read-only mode.
Let me try that again. It says read. Done. Did that work?
Let me reload the page. Now I get a bash and everything. I think that was the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're in the bash window there now.
Yeah. So define a method's max to some array which take an array of integer as an argument and return the sum of its two largest element. For empty array, it should return 0. So what I'm thinking about approach this problem, I'm thinking about sorting this array if it's an unsorted array, and then taking out the last 2 elements by taking -1 and -2 and sum it up. And if the list is empty, I think there is a method to check that if array is empty or not. So I'll first check first I will check it that if the array is empty, then I don't have to do the sorting, all those things. Then I just have to return 0. And then in the else clause, I'm thinking about then sorting the array and then taking the sum and returning the sum of the last maximum 2 elements. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's an easier way. Because there is a method, an array method, to return the maximum values of the array.
Okay.
So if you use that max method to return the 2 largest elements.
So can you show me in IRB?
Oh yes, let me find. I'm just going to show you the documentation. Under array, it might be. It might be under the enumerable.
Okay. Will be enumerable.
Max. So it's an enumerable method.
Max.
Yeah, you see this one here? Max 2. That returns the 2 highest maximums.
I think I cannot see your. Are you showing me
Or maybe I'm not.
screen?
Let me just share that then. Can you see it now?
Yeah. So take a max, take an array as an object. Yes.
Yeah.
In
So
the object.
if you just going back to it now. So if you use that max method to get the first 2, and then use the reduce method to add those together, and then the rest will be the same.
I can create an array.
Yep.
Array dot max.
Yep.
It just returned the largest.
That's right. Well, you give it a parameter of 2, and it'll return the 2 largest. So then you just add reduce colon plus to that. And you get 7.
It was quite, I mean, abstract. At the same time, it's pretty clear.
Yeah,
That was
well,
awesome.
that's the beauty of Ruby. Quite often, there's a very elegant and clear way to do it.
Because I have background in writing C programs because I'm a freshman in college. So we have to write everything from scratch because there is not a single thing apart from some methods built in, and our professor never let us use the standard library because we have to implement everything by ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing about Ruby is you can get a much higher productivity out of it, which is really what you want at the end of the day.
Yep. Okay, so
So
even
then I think,
if I don't have to even check for is empty arrays or not,
well, you could,
because
yeah, give it a try to see
yeah.
what that produces.
Let me save this file. Happened. I just accidentally closed my tab. Let me open my cloud now.
I just said, yeah, it said you went offline.
Uh, I just shared with me. Hmm. Hmm. Ah, the ours back. And let's put it up. Dot. Move to V1 and ours. Yes. Part one. Okay. It's not going to work for it's working for 0 if array is empty. So that means it's going to be empty. Dot.
Okay, so what happened?
So it's work returns the correct sum and work even if two largest are the same.
Splitting
So
point.
done.
Okay. Well, did you want to do another one or?
Okay, let me do the other one. Takes an array of integers and additional number n as an argument and returns true if two element should return false if definition. Okay, this
Okay.
It's an array of integer and an additional integer n as an argument returned through if two elements in the array of integer sum to n. Okay. It's a famous contained in problem, I think.
You know this one, do you?
Yes, I learned somewhere on Wikipedia about it's a dynamic programming problem, but
Yeah, look up. Well, when I looked at this, I thought you could do it as a nested while loop. So range across the, the members of the array, summing each one in turn, with each other. And then as soon as you find one that is equal to the number n, then you return as true. Otherwise, if you get all the way through, then you return false.
yeah. So one way is to do what we say, trying every possibilities means hard, and trying all the possible combination and looking for that number, and
Yeah.
and which is as a time complexity wise, I think pretty. I think n square or n cube.
Yeah, let me try this one. So we'll start your code here. Start off with a variable set 0, and then get the first while loop. So while a is less than the length of the array, minus 1. So we'll start with then the first, what we're going to compare it to. So b will be equal to a plus 1. So this is really the index of the array. And internal. And then we'll have our nested while loop. So while b is less than the array length, if array a plus array b is equal to n, then return true. The end of the year. Then we'll increment b to inner while,
And then the power.
then increment a the outer while. So what happens is start off with a equal to 0, so that's the first index, and then we range from there till array length minus 1. So we don't actually have we set B, which is the next index that we're referring to be A plus 1. So we don't compare itself with itself. And then we move through values of B to the end of the array, and then add A against each one of them, and compare it with N. If any are true, if any equal, then we return true. Otherwise, if we don't find any equal, we keep going, and then we go to the next, and so on. And then we go to the next member of the array and do the same thing again. So we just keep looping through until we find something or not. And that's basically it. And then right at the end, if we don't find anything at all, then we return false. So I think that's how it would work.
Now, added the extra $sign.
Ah, is that what it was? Oh, of course I did. Okay, it's all right. Oh, no, what's this? True and any two.
Sum returns true any two elements from to the second argument.
Okay, failed examples. For example, 3 failures.
Should return false for any value by definition.
Yeah.
Should return false for any value of n by definition. Define a method.
So empty set should return false. Well, if it was empty, then A was equal to 0, so A would not be less than the array length, and it would return false.
Even if the array contains one element, then that is also going to return false.
Yeah, it should also return false.
So we should have a if statement over A equals to 0 for checking if the arrays contain no element or one element.
Okay, well, do you want to do that then?
No, you go ahead.
So what was that again? If
Our variable declaration A equals to 0.
the array declaration.
Array is empty or array contain only size 1.
Oh, so, okay. So array empty
Or
array
right equals 1 maybe.
equals 1.
Then
Return
false.
return false. Okay. Oh, hang on, got an error. Here's the argument. Do I need an end after that? first argument. Parentheses space. I'll try that. Oh, this worked. Okay.
Let's make it more clear. I mean, I think you should move this variable a equals to 0 to closer to the while statement because it belongs there, I believe.
Okay. You want to do that?
Go ahead.
No, you drive.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, do you want to drive?
I didn't understand. I mean,
you get it, go ahead and drive.
okay, let me move it. I mean this. Like, just for sake of. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about another solution here, but in a nutshell, it will be the same. But how about, because in my college assignment, I did problem like this previously before, in which I learned something like that. Is like if we have because most of the cases this array will be unsorted. So if it's unsorted, if we sort the array and there's certain rules if we follow, means certain algorithm, and then using that algorithm it's much faster because what we are doing here in this particular solution, we are trying all possible combination.
Right.
So it is, for this problem it's not a big deal because we have very powerful computers, but if there is another way of doing things is like this. If you have a sorted array, think of it as sorted array of numbers, and in the sorted array we have our first index and the last index. So what if we add the first index of the same array and the last index of the array, and if their sum equals to the sum we are looking for, which is the number n, then we just return true. But what if their sum is less than what n is, then which means the number at the index 0, which is the minimum, and the number at the last index is the maximum, right? So if we increment the number at the index 0, because number we are, for the case number 1, in that case the first index element sum and the last index element sum is less than the number n, which we're looking for, then if we increment the number at the index, so the next higher index will be 1, and that number, because the list is sorted, arrays is sorted, so the number is going to be greater. Then we checking the sum of the last index and the first index, and then making the sum. If that is going to be equals to n, that's good. Or else there is another possibility is that their sum exceeds n, greater than n. Then in that case we can do is that we can decrement the index, the last index -1 to the -2 index, and then we do this thing. In that case we don't have to do all possible combination. Am I correct?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's a classic mathematical method.
Because this is not a simple problem. It's a very famous problem of contain in problem. I mean, we have given a list of elements. There is a Wikipedia article about this particular thing.
Yeah, I know the one. I know what you're saying. Yeah, it is quite a famous one.
It's pretty
awesome. Famous mathematician came up with it when he was a boy in school or something.
Are you a mathematician?
Yeah,
Oh, awesome.
like Gauss or someone like that. I can't remember who it was, but
No, I'm asking, are you a mathematician?
oh no, I'm not. No, I did
So
a degree in physics, but
physics, that is a kind of same thing, same phase of
yeah,
points.
yeah, studied a lot of maths, but no, not maths, pure maths.
I'm not a good at math but I love math, but I'm not good at math. That is quite,
Mm.
we can say, counterintuitive, or I can say contradicting.
Anyway, look, I think I'll stop the broadcast now. I
Okay.
think that's what I have to do to